Welcome back to the channel. We got a tournament report from Festival of Nights. It is a in-person tournament, so I drove about 2 hours or an hour and a half away from Philly to participate in this tournament. Yeah, it was really cool. The shop's really cool. It was at Sword and Stone Games in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. But let's check it out. On the Traxa Grand Unifier. Let me see. I'm pretty sure I played against Steven at some point during the tournament. Yeah, I played Steven, I believe, in game. Hold on. Actually, I can look this up. So, yeah, I did play against Steven in round 4. I also played against Jorman in round 4. He's the one that won the tournament. I believe we were trying to go for a draw, but one of our opponents decided they wanted to play it because they wanted to, make sure they got into top 16. And I think me, Steven, Cal, and Jorman, we all made top 16. That's hilarious. We all made top 16. And I believe Steven wanted to play, and that is the Atraxa player, and he is top 16. I think I should talk about this one. So yeah, I did play against Steven in match 4. It was me, Steven, Cal, Jorman. We all made top 16. Jorman actually won the whole tournament, but I think we went into this looking for a draw so we could, come into the next day a little bit better, on like a better footing. Because those breakers were tough, dude. Those breakers were really tough. We saw a lot of people who had like 1 draw, 4 draws. But yeah, your breakers were the determining factor whether you made it into top 16 or not. And I had just only like 2 draws, and that's what got me in. But yeah, played against Steven. The game was a little crazy. He had like 6 mana on like turn 2 or turn 1 or so, or I can't remember. But he had a lot of mana. And eventually he followed up with a Ranger Captain. That Ranger Captain was presented on my turn as a means to stop me. And I tried to win the game and tried to force the sack of the Ranger Captain on Narset. And yeah, he cracked it. And I think I had a Smothering Tithe out, and I drew a wheel after making a copy of his Atraxa, which is kind of insane. Yeah, I had a wheel, I had a Smothering Tithe out, and I think I should have just wheeled. I think the wheel probably would have gone a lot better for me. Would have made a ton of treasures. Maybe would have drawn into a Final Fortune. Who knows? That's what I was mainly looking for. I was trying to win. I didn't want to give everybody a fresh 7. Even though I would have had like 21 treasures. I think the reason why I didn't want to wheel with the Smothering Tithe out is because I already had a lot of free interaction in my hand. I was like, this hand's good enough. It'll last a turn cycle. I think I'm good. And I like just went for it. And I was like, hey, all right, cool. I'm going to pass the turn. Ranger Captain's off the field. I can fight now. And that was the game I had with Steven. As you can see here, let's see. As you can see here, Cal ended up taking that game. I had to fight through Steven's turn and Cal's turn, and then Jorman revealed to me at the end of the match that he had an Mnemonic Betrayal to just pick up where everybody left off. So I wasn't winning that game. I wasn't winning in that game, but I think my chances would have been better if I just wheeled. But that's after the game was over. With that perfect knowledge that I have now, yeah, wheeling probably would have been better. I definitely had a really good plan in mind where against Steven, where I had all the interaction that I needed. I had a Smothering Tithe out. I was making a ton of mana. Like, I don't know. Tournaments are weird. You can't count on everybody having everything. So we went into Steven's turns, and I had a bunch of counter spells. Cal helped out, and we had to fight through Cal's turn, and I didn't have everything to fight through Cal's turn. So, yeah, that was a showing of Steven's Atraxa deck from the top 16. Yeah, his deck was a little insane. Really cool. Very quick start. I think he just mulliganed really well. Phyrexian Metamorph and this Hollow Griffin, so he's running Food Chain. Yeah, it's cool. Very solid deck. So what else we got in the top 16? So we have Tim on the Gila. I didn't see Tim at all. Kohei, he was in my top 16 match. Yeah, he was really cool. He had even a cooler deck. If you ever see Kohei like at a tournament or something, ask him to show you his deck. All Japanese foils, fucking solid, bro. And he's also got more Japanese foils coming in the mail, so definitely give it a look. Shout out to Kohei. Yeah, standard Najeela deck. Pestermite. I was never fond of Thieves Guild Enforcer, but that's just my personal opinion. Sometimes it works out. But yeah, this solid Yuriko deck. You know, this is more focused on the damage here. There is a Thassa's Oracle here. I know some Yuriko builds are on like Torpor Orb. Yeah, no Torpor Orb from them. They're on a Grafdigger's Cage and things like that. But like, it's a solid Yuriko deck, you know? Yeah, so just burn this out, turn this out. He was also talking about, I actually did talk to him, he was talking about cutting Curtain's Call. But, you know, 6 damage, instant speed, pretty decent, I guess. But yeah, he did say the reduction for each opponent wasn't really that worth it, from what he told me. But yeah, it's just solid deck, very solid. You'd love to see some Yuriko. Eric and Crom to Versat. I think this is Sharky. Yeah, this is Sharky. If you know Sharky online, always in the Nexus. Yeah, Sharky's a cool dude. Sharky has like a really solid deck here. Hullbreaker Horror, Notion Thief, Displacer Kitten, really good Displacer Kitten deck with Tevesh and Doom. This is a really good Displacer Kitten deck because you can just drop down Tevesh and just flicker that, make thralls, draw cards, solid. So what else we got? I played against Sharky on stream. That game was really fun. He's a really excellent player. I've also played against him in person, online a few times. So I didn't actually know it was Sharky when I sat down and started playing with him. Yeah, it was really cool. Really good player. I think mostly because the reason why I won this game is because Sharky was the responsible player in the pod, and he decided to find removal for the Gitrog monster, and I fucking appreciate that. And I'm not saying that because like you handed me the game or something like that, but you saved us like three or four turns around the turn cycle because you were the responsible player. And then we were able to make plays and we were able to interact, and then we kind of just blew up the Gitrog monster, and that was cool. And then you got me on Narset. I actually did make a bunch of changes to this list. Alright, so I definitely did make a bunch of changes to this list. So I don't even remember. From the last video, I took out Narset, the Planeswalker. I took out Hedron Crab. What else did I take out? I added in Last Chance. I took out the Chance for Glory. I took out Chance for Glory because Last Chance was just better on curve. Added in Merchant Scroll. I swapped out Traumatize for Merchant Scroll because it's the same cost no matter how you put it. So you put Merchant Scroll in the stack. That Merchant Scroll finds you Intuition. Intuition costs you 2 in a blue, and then you can just go ahead and swing with Narset. And then you found 3 cards with your Intuition. 3 cards that you exactly want in your graveyard. So it's more, I would say it's more what's the word I'm thinking for? It's more precise, a little bit more surgical for you to go get the merchant scroll for you to get the merchant scroll into the intuition, and it's still 5 mana, as opposed to you flipping half your library over, which is cool, and it's also very, like, if you hit everything that you need to hit, there's no way you're not losing that game. So like if you hit like Underworld Breach or what's the card? Sevinne's Reclamation and Underworld Breach, or if you hit an extra turn spell, or if you hit, you know, anything really, you're good. But you only have a 50% chance, so it's, your chances are really good. But on curve, I would have liked the I would like to be able to cast the Traumatize and just, you know, have something to do afterwards, even if Narset wasn't on the field. So I swapped it with Merchant Scroll because of the flexibility, and I can just, you know, Merchant Scroll, get some protection. Yeah, it's really simple. I put in Anger of the Gods because fuck Kennen. Fuck Kennen. Fuck Sisay. Fuck all the creature decks. Fuck Taim. Like, Anger of the Gods is in this deck. I swapped this with what's the fucking card? The card is Delay Blast Fireball. I swapped it with Delay Blast Fireball. I just slowed down, added in the sorcery, replaced it. So when those creatures die, they stay the fuck dead. Because Anger of the Gods just straight up exiles the creature cards. Yeah, that was really cool. I added in Seize the Day. Seize the Day is actually not that bad, honestly. That is one of the quote-unquote cute cards that I'm running with Narset, because I can mill that card, or I can put it in my intuition pile. I can put it into like any kind of pile, and I can flash it back, target Narset, untap her, and then she gets to go again. She has a higher power, and then yeah, it's really cool. I also added it in so if somebody tried to go for a win or something, and there's like a amount of consultation in the graveyard or a Tainted Pact, and then I have a Jace so happen in the graveyard, or I'm able to put a Jace into play, I can just swing with Narset, cast Tainted Pact or the consultation, cast Seize the Day, untap Narset, and then go ahead and cast the Jace, activate Jace, and win. Simple enough. It's just like a 2-for-1. Like, you know, swing with Narset, cast a card for free, untap, cast Seize the Day, untap Narset, swing, and it's GG. GG. But sometimes this card is like good, sometimes this card is kind of bad, but I'm still getting a feel for it. I've only cast it probably like twice, and each time it's won me the game, so I have no complaints. Fervent Mastery's in the deck. This is a card I swapped for Wild Research because it almost has the same function as Wild Research. It's just a little bit higher in casting cost. This is okay to cast the alternate cost. I'd recommend casting it for the alternate cost if your opponent has less than equal or less than 3 cards in hand. Then you can go ahead and, you know, just be like, hey, do you want to discard your hand? Usually no, because Narset can attack. They're like, no, I'm good. I'm not going to discard my hand and draw any cards. Some people are willing to do that for the sake of interaction. They'll just get their, they'll take a chance, discard their whatever cards that they had in their hand, draw those cards, and then maybe they have interaction. So you have to be a little bit more careful. I've been usually casting this for 5 because it's kind of like Traumatize, I guess. Yeah, it's really cool. You can make some really cool like mastery piles. It's kind of like intuition. It's like intuition's like cousin, you know. Fervent Mastery's like intuition's cousin, and it's really cool. If your deck can play it, I would recommend playing it. For this deck, it doesn't matter what you discard because Narset is going to be able to cast it anyway. Regardless of what you're going to discard, she's going to swing, cast it. So if you like discard an Underworld Breach and like 2 lands or something like that, you're going to cast Breach. If you discard like Sevinne's Reclamation, maybe you have the LED in hand, you can play the LED, crack it, and then go to combat and cast the other cards that you have. and get your breach into play, or you can put like 2 extra turns in there, your Underworld Breach, and then take an extra turn if you need more mana, because you're going to discard one of those cards. I also do recommend casting this card when you only have 3 cards in hand. When you only have 3 cards in hand, or if you only have 3 or less. Yeah, actually, the same would apply to your hand as it would if you were to cast it for the alternate cost, targeting an opponent. So, yeah, Fervent Mastery is a really good card. I've won the game, I think, 2 out of my games there. I think so. I'm not sure. I don't know. I've been casting it a lot, and it's always been winning me the game. So, yeah, I would say this card's insane. It's not really an auto include, but this card would belong in this deck. So, give it a shot if you haven't already. Come on, man. Get out of here. Get out of here. Alright, so I added Daze. Daze was a swap for Heathen Crab. I've realized that maybe I might need a little bit more interaction. I swapped Heathen Crab for it because in my mind, the only thing that I had to like change mentally is I had to search for red-blue mountain islands first, because I'm running Daze and I'm also running Thunderclap. So the flexibility is where I can also cast Daze and I can also sack it for Thunderclap. So Daze is cool. Also pitches to Force of Will and Force of Negation. So that's cool. You're usually going to end up tight on mana, so I figured another free counter spell would be good for the deck. Competitive setting, people aren't going to see it. This did actually win me my game, and I think, which game did it win me? Let's take a look. I know it. I won. Yeah, I won match 1. So I was playing against. I was 3rd. There was Luis and Anthony, and then me. So Luis was on Carmella, Anthony was on Kaikar, Daniel was on Blue Farm, and Luis, I untapped with a Mystic Remora in play. I had 1 land in play, and that 1 land was Hallowed Fountain. I untapped around turn 3. I only had rocks in play, so I had about 4 mana and rocks in play. I tapped my Hallowed Fountain, and I cast a Silence with my Mystic Remora trigger on the stack. And then Luis tries to win on top of me with Carmella, with the Saw in Half Carmella, Carmella line. I think he was building up extra Storm because he Brain Freeze me at the end of the combo, and I was like, oh, okay. So I think he was just building up Storm with my Mystic Remora out, and I was just letting him, cast cards so I can just draw cards. And I was like, cool, that's cool. That resolves, that resolves, that resolves. And I was just drawing until I hit some interaction. And then the first piece of interaction that I hit was Daze. And I returned that Hallowed Fountain back to my hand and hit that Daze. And I was like, cool, we're good here. And he was like, yep. And then he only had mana to cast instants and sorceries. So he wasn't able to activate again, I think. I'm not sure. I think he still had it in my head. I think he still had it, but I guess the Daze cut him off of mana somehow. But my point was just to interrupt the combo and make sure he didn't have enough mana to actually use. But yeah, the Daze came in real clutch, bro. Like that was a nice little Daze. But yeah, Luis is cool. I really like Carmella because it really reminds me of like a Grixis Narummeha, because she has haste, she comes into play, you can just start casting spells and the combo works at instant speed, and I really like that a lot. Shout out to him. Anthony had a bunch of interaction. I think he was the most responsible player at the pod. Had like a bunch of interaction, had a bunch of rocks, got a Kaikar out. He did so much. I thought we were going to die to him. Also thought we were going to die to Luis. Yeah, it was a really good game, really good pod. But back to my shit. Yeah, that Daze was hitting. It was hitting when it was hitting. That Daze was so clutch. So I added in Daze. What else do we have here? Yeah, all the typical stuff here. Anything else that I added in? I know there was something else. Oh, I added Imposter Mech because it is a clone effect. I also found out like, oh, I'm like, I could search for this with off of like Enlightened Tutor, and I was like, yeah, this is great. I can cast this off a Narset. I can get a Dark Side. I can, you know, make enough mana, go for it, you know. So, Imposter Mech's really good. I like it a lot. Added the One Ring. I was eventually going to take this out, but, you know, it kind of grew on me. The only thing that I don't like about the One Ring is I can't win with it in play. if I cast it, then I can't win with it in play because I can't target myself with Brain Freeze or Jace, so I can't win. And that's the only thing that sucks about the One Ring. So if you see me cast the One Ring, I'm not winning. Like it's done. I added Dress Down. Dress Down is a cool card because I can swing with Narset and then put Dress Down on the stack, shut off all the creatures, and then I can go for my Breach Wind. That's the name of the deck. That's what it does. And then we got Smothering Tithe. Smothering Tithe is cool. This was just a value piece. I realized that I like to wheel a lot, and that's just me as a person. I just like to wheel. People don't pay for Risk Excites. People don't pay for Mystic Remorse, and I'm like, I gotta capitalize. Like, come on. I gotta capitalize. I gotta turn this, like, turn 1 Mana Crypt into Mana Vault mana, and, like, land into, you know, like, sustainable mana. People aren't gonna be paying for them spells, so I can sustain, get my, like, turn 2 Narset out, and then maybe wheel or something, who knows. But Smothering Tithe is very powerful. I didn't make any changes to lands, but I'm thinking about cutting out Tarnished Citadel. It's just annoying to see. It's just really annoying. Yeah, but when I see it, it's really good, but like, it's just really annoying, you know? 3 damage is just annoying. But yeah, that's my deck from the top 16. I named it Ilyana Rasputin because I've been, you know, bombing memes about about this deck being like Magic at the Festival of Nights. If you don't know who Magic is, Magic's from Marvel Comics. She's her real name's Ilyana Rasputin. She has a pauldron and a sword, and I was like, you know what? In this Festival of Nights, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna come in swinging. She is my favorite Marvel character. Well, favorite X-Men, actually. She's my favorite X-Men. So I named this deck after, or this version of the deck after her. But if you want to see the updates, I did make updates based on this list into the primer. So if you want to check that out, primer is updated. Took care of that like yesterday, but yeah, it's cool. Really love Ilyana Rasputin. Super cool. X-Men. Who we got here? So we got Eric, me. There are 2 Crick decks. I'm not going through these decks. I have a distinct, I don't know. I just don't want to talk about Crick. The only thing I want to talk about regarding Crick is that they play, what's that card? Is Flesh Rider. This is the only creature in this game that has this ability. And it's a cool ass ability. Because you can just pay 1 black, sacrifice it, and then you can just pop your Necroticus into play. And then that's it, that's game. But yeah, Flesh Rider is really cool. I think that's like the coolest card in the deck. They're playing like the One Ring now, which is cool. Citadel, excellent. Yeah, Crick is a really cool deck. I would play this deck, but I just don't own a Crick. I just don't own a Crick. And, you know, I hate being stuck out of the game based off of life, and people are gonna start swinging at me like crazy, and then I'm not prepared for that. I don't want any parts of that. But yeah, it's really hard to interact with deck. There's about 20 creatures in the deck. It's such an excellent deck. So quick. Yeah, it's just so quick, so resilient, and so like efficient. And you know, all you have to do is make 4 colorless mana and pay 6 life, and then boom, you're off to the races. But yeah, Crick's a really good card. I'm not surprised to see it here in the top 16. At least 2 of them in the top 16. Yeah, it was actually really great. They also had the same record as I did, 3-3-2. We got Ian. Shout out to Ian, comedian MTG. He was on Kinnan. So we got Festival of Kinnan by Comedian. Cool. Yeah, just standard Kinnan deck. You know, very resilient, very cool. Makes a shit ton of mana. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, super cool. Colossal Sky Turtle. I think I remember Ian telling everybody he was going to try that out. So, yeah. Colossal Sky Turtle is the fucking business. Yeah, I like that. What else you got? Anything else in here that's new? Jin-Gitaxias Core Augur? I think that's been in the list. I don't know. Maybe that's been in the list. Transmute artifacts there. Yeah, just standard Kinnan deck. Yeah, you really love to see it. I thought I was going to see Jin-Gitaxias Progress Iron in the list, but yeah, it's really cool. I did see somebody play Thorn Mammoth in one of my games. I think I played against the person who won the cookout. He was also playing Kinnan at this tournament. He had played a Thorn Mammoth, and that card fucks. Like we tell you, that card fucks. Thorn Mammoth is insane. It says, whenever Thorn Mammoth or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Thorn Mammoth fights up to one target creature you don't control. That's insane. Because you flip off a cannon, boom, creature dead. Fuck it. Bow, out of here. Every single Kinnan activation. Seaborn Muse, untap, Kinnan, boom, creature, bow. Get him out of here. It's crazy. It's so crazy. This I can't deal with this card. And it's a 6/6. And then if you try to bounce it, it's just gonna pop it right back down. The card's insane. Who we got next? I got our boy Ben Loeb. He's playing Rogside. You know what Rogside does. Everybody knows what Rogside does. Just gone. So this is different. Ben is in my meta, so I'm used to seeing Ben play more control decks or more like mid-range decks. This is different from what I've noticed from Ben. Very solid deck. Yeah, I think this deck's excellent. Especially because I know Ben's like very logical and like very mathematical. So I would say this is the deck. I'm also kind of like logical and mathematical, so I also gravitate towards storm decks, things that just require straight math and, you know, calculation. So I would consider Rogside that very deck. So we got here, we got Cal on Niv Mizzet. Played Cal twice this tournament. Yeah, Cal was in that game where Cal was in that game that we played earlier. And then he was also in my top 16 match, which was really cool. Yeah, very standard Niv Mizzet deck. Very solid. So much advantage. Yeah, this deck is insane. This deck is really cool. But yeah, I also have an affinity towards like Niv Mizzet and like Izzet decks, so I think this deck's really cool. Will I play it at some point? No. Not playing this deck. I've left Izzet long ago. Maybe I might do like a Gale deck tech with like Gale and that one red card. I can't remember the name of the red card, but I'll probably post it like here or something like that. But Gale and that one red card, maybe I'll try that out. That seems kind of fun. Seems kind of inefficient, but seems fun. But yeah, this is Cal's deck. Cal had a really good run. Yeah, nice. Adam Stahl, Malcolm Val Smasher. They were the only one playing Malcolm Val Smasher. Very proactive deck. So let's see. I want to see if they're playing Plunge into Darkness, because I was playing Plunge into Darkness before when I was playing this deck in Mox Masters. But yeah, they're not playing it. Nah, why would you play that? But Plunge into Darkness is like a cool card because you can just like cast Plunge, look, you know, X amount of cards deep, because you can calculate how many cards you need to kill everybody first, and you can cast Plunge for, you know, X amount of life, and then make sure that you have that many cards left in your library, get your Buccaneer, and then boom, off to the races. So yeah, that's the reason why I would play it, but he's not, and that's okay. But yeah, Adam has a really cool card. Drowning the Lock is in the deck. That's cool. I haven't seen that in a while. Lots and lots and lots of removal here, as you should, because you need to get rid of everything in these tournament metas. Tandem Lookout, very cool. Notion Thief also has the Niv Mizzet. That's cool. I wonder if they're on Magda. Any Magdas here? Nope, no Magda. I think it's just, you know, straight up Niv Mizzet off of all those treasures, which is really cool. Very Mastermind, Reckless Fireweaver. Yeah, so this is like a straight up like Curiosity build. Yeah, really cool. I really like this deck with Magda, because you can sacrifice all your treasures and you can go ahead and get a Ballistic Citadel. I really like that. That's really cool. Yeah. Shout out to Adam. What else we got here? We got Shauna on Niv Mizzet. Of course. Come on. It's Shauna. Come on. Niv Mizzet. Consistently putting up results. Whoa, what's this doing in here, Shauna? What's that? What's this Nezahal doing in here? Who's this? Who is she? Wow. Lorien revealed. Draw 3 cards. Island Cycle. Okay, Island Cycle is pretty cool. Damn, Shauna, you're running some cool ass cards in here. I thought I was gonna see like a standard Niv Mizzet deck, but yeah, holy shit. I'm just taken aback by those few cards. What else you got in here, Shauna? You know, is this? No, I thought it was Divert. I was like, holy shit, you're playing Divert too? What else you got? Unsubstantiate, really cool card. Yes, standard control deck. Thunderclap too, let's go. I like that, I like to see it. Misdirection. Yep, standard is a control deck. You know? Shout out to Shauna. Alright, so we got top 4. We've already moved into the top 4. I'm just like realizing we just moved into top 4. Like Shauna was in the top 4. You got Zane and Rogrex Silas, you know, standard deck. I know Ben and Zane were playing the same deck, so I'm not gonna go dig too deep. Sorry, Zane. You got Malcolm on Sisei, Weatherlight Captain. Let's see. Deus Ex Draconis, the Knight Who Say No by oh wow. Weisdraken, or something like that. I don't know. Well, hopefully I pronounced that right. Yeah, really cool deck. I like that they're running like Malcolm's running like a bunch of like Planeswalkers here. It's a really cool deck. Yeah, it's just like a standard, you know, Sisei deck. Very toolboxy. You know, there's a bunch of lines in here. Also, Lawan, very hot. Lawan's a really sick card. Oh my god. Is that really $1.28 for this Lawan? It's time to go to tcgplayer.com. Like what? Like what? Yo, $1.28 for a foil Lawan? I feel like this is like bait. Nah, this isn't real, bro. Nah, let me look this up right now. $1. Holy shit. Oh my god, let's add that to the cart, baby. Yes, sir. Yeah. All right, back to the tournament report. All right, camera died. So let's see. Yeah, shout out to fucking Malcolm, bro. He played really well. Like he said, he's there to win. I was also there to win. I had my little pep talk in the morning after my morning book read. I was like, you know what? I'm winning this goddamn tournament. And he came there with the same energy, and he beat me in the top 16. So, shout out to Malcolm. Shout out to Malcolm. We'll get him next time. Our boy Twang on Timna Crom. Standard Timna Crom here. Got so much advantage in here. Got the Fairy Mastermind over here. Yeah, very, 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 very good. It complements Jorman's playstyle. He's a very good player. He knows all his rules. He knows when the triggers go off. He's very on top of shit. He's really good at managing everything here. So, this deck complements him. Whenever he gets, like, you know, whenever he gets a good draw, if he gets, like, you know, Orcish Bowmasters, he'll, like, you know, start talking to people like, hey, like, why don't you get some more advantage or something like that? Like, probably need more advantage. You gotta stay ahead of the game. And then he'll drop Orcish Bowmasters and, like, all right, cool. Now we're in a spot. That's Jorman. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to give me a like and subscribe, and, you know, catch you later.